your message. So we are about to start now. I'm just waiting to get a go ahead. Can you guys hear me? Shilpi, can you hear me since you sent that message? Okay, awesome. Yeah, I just see your message. I think we'll just wait for maybe a couple of minutes for everyone to join in. I'm Bharti, and then we could start. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay. I think we could start now. We have a couple of people right here. Okay, guys. Hi, my name is Bharti, and I am here from behalf of Illuminations Wellbeing Center. And I want to just thank you all for the opportunity for having me here today. Before we begin, I would just like to kind of share a little bit about myself, about Illuminations, and also before we begin, and as people are coming, uh, I would just want to share that, I normally have very, very interactive sessions. So if someone has questions first on our topic, which is of course, about happiness, productivity, and potential and creativity. So if you have any questions, just share them on the group right now. And if you would like to have your videos on right now, just so that I could see who all are here, that would be great. So I just know who I'm talking to, and then we can move on, as we get along. So I am seeing, hi, Rima, Vanessa, and this is Hello City, and Gori, and C. Okay. Can you guys hear me? Just a message or a thumbs up or something, so then we can get going. It's 9 o'clock. I mean, it's 5 o'clock, and we have, hi. Okay, so I think we are ready to begin. Um, like I mentioned, for anyone who's joined now, my name is Bharti, and I'm a clinical hypnotherapist and a corporate trainer with Illuminations Wellbeing UAE. And once again, thank you very much for this awesome opportunity on behalf of Illuminations and myself. So before we move on, I would once again say, if you have any questions, do post it. I'll keep having a look at it now, or at the end of the session, and we can move from that. Okay, so a little bit about myself, little bit about Illumination. So Illumination, as many of you may be aware of, is Dubai's first, largest, and leading well-being platform, focusing on mental and emotional health. We have centers in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. And so right now, in this times, and for a very, very long time, in the region and outside, we've been promoting mental health, emotional well-being in a huge way. So that's exactly what we will go on now. A bit about myself as we go on. So my name is Bharti again, and I have been in this line of work for about 10 years now, since 2010. I do have an educational background in psychology, and I also have a master's in business and marketing, because that's where I spent about 7 to 8 years after my graduation in the corporate world in mainstream, doing things like business development. I was in HR, and basically taking care of P&L and things like that. And at this time, so I worked with great companies across India and then Dubai. And it's around my time in Dubai, when about 10 years, 12 years back, when I kind of once again rediscovered my passions for psychology, for meditation, mental health, emotional well-being, and things like that. And that is what kind of put me on this path of wellness and healing. Currently now I'm married. I have two little girls. One is 9, one is 4. And we are all currently as lovingly as possible locked up inside our home, like I'm sure many of you are as well. And that's what brings me to the present moment about our talk today. And how can we tap into the power of the now, of the new normal, because our normal has shifted. I would be probably standing in front of you and we would probably be talking, but right now I have a screen with just some images, right? So how can we tap into the power of our minds in the middle of all this chaos, all this disruption, which is now the new normal, and create more positivity? How do we create more productivity, and how can we be more creative with everything that we do? So the thing is that in any given scenario, good or bad, we always have a choice, right? So for example, let's just take these current times, because that's just all over and we are all thinking about it at all times, right? So just think of these current times where life and ways of being, ways of socializing, ways of doing business are just turned upside down, and everything seems chaotic at one level, right? But even in this situation, we all have a choice, either to kind of succumb and be fearful, or we have the choice to kind of dive deeper into our own authentic power and potential to create a reality that is meaningful and more creative for us and all those around us, right? And that is the vibration we need to keep becoming aware of, reminding ourselves, and keep trying to vibrate at, right? How can I tap into my authentic power, which is not disrupted by anything around me, right? Isn't it so interesting that in spite of all the social, what do you call, distancing and the need for separation, which is the need of the hour, the world has actually gotten closer. It has actually united to some sort of way, if you look at it. The entire world right now is united against one cause, which is fighting the virus and kind of surviving and thriving and making the most of it in whichever way that we possibly can, right? So the world has actually united together. There is this oneness to fight together, oneness to stand together. And even if you look at it in our own personal spaces, right? Friends, families, neighbors who you wouldn't have probably communicated with in the past, you actually see them in the garden or in the balcony, and you're concerned about their well-being, they're concerned about your well-being. So it's actually bringing everyone closer in one way or the other, right? People are trying to go that extra mile to be kind of helpful, or literally just look after you in some way or the other, right? So everything is now coming together in a certain way. Everything that was, kind of inactive, maybe certain groups, certain people coming together to bring this authenticity within you, this power within you, which is there, and move forward. You know how these days all the things that we actually took for granted once upon a time, like rushing to meetings or rushing to school, everything that seemed so hectic at this moment doesn't seem so hectic anymore, right? And it just feels like you want to go back to a certain way of living, a certain way of being. So what's going on is that as everything is changing, it always is, but right now the pace and maybe even the direction is very different from what we have been used to. And since these are really, really unexpected, unprecedented times, we did not expect them, but here we are kind of face to face with a situation that is unknown, and as unknown as it can be. We have to find this power not outside, but within us, right? And what research tells us is about the human mind is that the subconscious mind of human beings, of all of us, right? Irrespective of age, irrespective of culture, background, the subconscious mind always pushes us towards what is known, and it kind of prevents us from the unknown. so that we can thrive, because the job of our subconscious mind is to keep us alive, is to keep us surviving, right? So the subconscious mind is always at all times pushing us towards the known, and the known is currently missing in most of our lives. So what do we do? How do we move forward with it? This is therefore the right opportunity and the right time to reconnect with our inner world, right? So we are all a physical body, but we are also an energy body. We are also an emotional body, right? And if at this point of time where everything around us seems like a chaos, the only thing that can kind of center us, that can give us the power, that can give us the strength, that can give us the direction, is our inner power. It's our inner grounding that we can kind of tap into. And once we can learn how to tap into the subconscious mind and work with it, okay, everything can change in our own space and in our own world. Why? Because we do not directly have a control over what's happening outside. We do not have a control over what the governments are doing, or what the medical fraternity is doing, or what decisions are taking at a broader perspective. But how they impact us, how they affect us, we can have complete control on that aspect of it. Through the day, we have a thinking mind, right? So our subconscious mind is like a storing mind. It just stores everything and keeps us going. It keeps us surviving. Our heart beats with the subconscious space, right? Our breathing is also subconscious, but our conscious mind is always thinking. So you and I are thinking constantly, what's going to happen next? What will be the next announcement? What are the numbers today? What's going on? How will business move forward? How will the economy come back? Etc., etc., etc. So the thinking mind's job is to think, 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 think. It keeps thinking, it keeps getting different scenarios. But the subconscious mind has the power to shift you. And if you can take charge of your subconscious mind, all those thoughts which are probably creating some sort of trigger, probably creating some sort of anxiety or fear or any kind of emotion, because thoughts create emotions, right? Every thought creates an emotion. And every time that you are getting triggered by any thought, good or bad, you are generating an emotion. And this emotion, friends, then fluctuates your energy. Okay, so your own energy. So, for example, just as an example, let me give you. You get a message on the phone about some deal that you were getting or some business opportunity that you were getting, and suddenly you get this message which says that that deal or that business opportunity is put on hold for some time, right? Now the minute you read that message, if you are in a very grounded space, or if you are in a very centered space, you will be able to take that news as a news. But if your emotions are scattered, you are in an anxious space of some sort, or you are feeling not so good about things around you, instantly that message will make you feel low. It will make you feel perhaps angry. It could make you feel very fearful. It could make you mad. It could make you feel that things don't go right for you. You may even feel guilty. So just think about it. Every time a thought comes to your mind, it makes you feel a certain way, right? And if you have this awareness that you are feeling a certain way because of a certain thought, and because of that emotion you are unable to take charge of your energy to be able to be more strong and grounded and powerful, you will have the capacity to shift that. And that's really important. So every single time that there is any kind of input that's coming in, be it through your WhatsApp messages, be it the social media, be it work related, be it family related, health related, every input that comes in, every source that comes in, that message that comes in, it is shifting your emotions in a certain way. And just take the current scenario, right? All the way from January, for example, you've been through a roller coaster of thoughts and emotions. Give it a thought. From the time that you heard about this disruption, perhaps in China, there was this feeling of, oh my God, that's really sad, but it wasn't so close home, right? And then slowly, as it became closer to home, the emotions were much more intense. So the thoughts were like, oh my God, it's happening here, it's happening there. Now what? What's going to be the next step? All these thoughts, how is my business going to be impacted? How is my work going to be impacted? All these thoughts were creating a negative spiral of emotions, right? And what was this negative spiral of emotion then doing to you? It was basically weakening your energy body. Now, why is this so important, especially at this point of time? Because the vibration at which your energy is fluctuating and vibrating at all times then determines the health of your physical body. And the one thing we have in our control, and the one thing that we should be so single-handedly focused on, is our physical body and our physical reality. Because anything can happen outside, but if my immunity is strong, and if my immunity and my physical body is strong, then I am safe. And that is what you need to do for yourself, right? It can be very draining, taking in inputs and numbers and different combinations and impacts and what all is happening in the world, what all is happening in our backyard, what all is happening to our business, what is going to happen 3 months later, the repercussions. All of that is constantly playing with this cycle of your thought, which brings your emotion down, which kind of leaks your energy. And when your energy leaks, your physical body, your physical reality tends to kind of get a bit affected. Okay, so if you have any questions, please do post, so that, you know, if there is something that you need to kind of know right now, it would help to you know, address that as we go along. I see some questions, so I will just have a look at it once. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we were at this whole thing of the thought, emotion, and energy body, right? So now, what can we do? We are aware of a couple of things that are now going on, correct? So now we know that our thoughts and our emotions and our energy and our physical body are all completely interrelated, and we have been going through these roller coaster of emotions that has been playing with us in a certain way. So the clarity that we have now, guys, is that the normal day of yesterday are now replaced by trial and error, right? So these new days, they come with a lot of time to again think and do stuff and, you know, prepare and keep changing things around. And at the same time, this new awareness that everything you think is an external input, but I will not allow my internal steadiness to be triggered in any way. And how can we do that? I'm going to share with you some very, very wonderful tools today. I'm going to share with you some you know, exercises you can do at home, some breath work that you can do at home, because like I said, every thought is followed by a series of thoughts. And if I can be aware at any point of time that my thoughts are making me feel this way, I will be more aware that I do not want to feel this way. And then I can take the right steps in the right direction. So step number one, guys, is to have complete awareness and acceptance of what you are feeling. Very often you would have heard, and some of you, if you are parents, you would always, you know, if the child is like sad, or many people tend to say, okay, don't feel sad, it's okay, it will change. But when you tell someone, or when you tell yourself, don't feel sad, what you're doing is you're just kind of suppressing it, or you're kind of just kind of, you know, shoving it onto the side, right? When you do that, you are not really actually taking care of what needs to be done. I think we have a question here. Let me just see that question, guys. One moment. Okay, this is from Shilpi, right? Shilpi, what practices or methods do you use for affirmations? Fantastic. I will just share with you. I'm planning to do some is everyone okay to do some experiment, some experiential stuff? So like some visualization, some affirmation, some breath work. If you are, just give me like a thumbs up, or just bring your video on, or whatever you can do, so I know that you are okay with that. And that would be something you can take back and practice on a daily basis to keep your energy, to keep your capacity going strong, right? So I will just come back to the affirmations, Shilpi. So like, okay, so we have, okay, yes, we are fantastic. That lets me know what's going on, because one-on-one class, it's really easy, right? Because you see what's going on with everyone, and then you take the direction in that way. Here, all I'm seeing is just boxes, but that's okay. We will still take on the energy, and we will ground ourselves, and we will keep going forward with it, right? So, like I was saying, that we need to kind of understand. So the first step is awareness of how I'm feeling, right? So don't shove your thoughts, don't shove your emotions to the side. Be very aware how you're feeling. If a phone call disturbed you, be aware you are disturbed. However, there is a big distinguishing factor between being aware and engaging. What is that? Being aware is a phone call came telling me that my orders for the next 3 months are cancelled, or my credit facility is gone, or whatever it may be. That is awareness that this call made me feel this way. Engagement is, why did this happen to me? Why is it going on like this? I don't know what's going to happen. When it's going to happen, it's going to make it all bad. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. When we engage too much in a negative spiral, we just keep going down and down and down and down and down. So what happens is we go down from a place of rejection all the way down to fear, and then it's like literally we're at rock bottom till someone or something helps us to kind of gather our strength. And this really exhausts energy, and we need to conserve our energy right now, right? So that's step one. Be aware and then accept. Once you have awareness, once you have acceptance, then let's see what are these different emotions that you have. Let's classify them into something simpler, and let's see how we can kind of flip them. Okay, so I'm going to give you a minute, either if you would like to kind of write it down, or if you want to just take a moment and go over your own space and just think about what are the different areas of your life that makes you more happy, that makes you more powerful, that can make you more creative. What are those areas of life? Just bring them into your mind space, and that's all. You don't have to share with anyone, nothing. This is just for your own awareness and knowledge. What are the different areas of your life? So for example, for me, career and purpose is big, right? Health is very big for me. So for you, what are these different areas? Okay, think about 4-5 different areas just in your mind, or write it down for your own awareness. If you have a pen, write it down, because it will help you later on, right? So I'm just going to give you a minute and just kind of go over that. Okay, so just kind of, again, since we are not face to face, I'll just share certain areas which normally come up in trainings, right? So one of the common ones is career and purpose. Then relationships, love, that comes up, yeah. Your money, your work, your success, that's a huge factor people kind of look at. Of course, your health, your energy, that's again another aspect. So going so forth, and you could have more as well. Now that you have like kind of a broad classification of, you know, what are the areas that you look for your own happiness, your power, your creativity, give a moment and think, what are the usual suspects, usual emotions that kinds of get you stressed or very unhappy. Okay, and I'll make this, and I'll categorize it into a very easy way for you to get in touch with your own emotions. Okay, so let's say there are only 3 factors. Okay, there are only 3 factors that can actually take our power away or make us feel unhappy, so to speak, or make us feel stressed, which is another word for certain kind of unhappiness, right? So number 1, let's say, is others' behavior. Okay, and these days so many jokes are floating around of how many people are having to stay with their family, and there are so much tension, etc., etc., right? So others' behavior can very, very often make us uncontrollable about our own emotions. So when we are very, very upset with another person, with the way they are behaving, it could be our partner, it could be our parent, colleague, maid, child, boss, subordinate, anyone, absolutely anyone except me. So other people, whenever anything has to do with other people, it can make me feel a certain way. And I'm not going to tell you right now what it's going to make you feel. Give it a thought in your own way, right? Second, the situation. And right now is a perfect example. Right now is an absolutely perfect example on the situation, the circumstance. What is it making us feel right now? Okay, give it a thought in your mind. I'll not share the emotion right now with you, but I will in some time, and I'll also share with you how you can change it, how you can flip it, right? And what would be the third one? If I've already covered the other person, if I've already covered the situation, anybody wants to share on chat, please do that. What would be the third biggest category that can make me feel unhappy or sad or whatever, or stressed out? It is usually our own behavior. Okay, so there are three factors: other people, situation, and our own behavior. Even in this time when we are locked down, think about anything that stresses you out. It would come under one of these three categories. Either things are not going right because of the circumstance, I'm unable to do business, I'm unable to take my kids to school, I'm unable to a whole lot of things. Situation. Myself, because I am feeling guilty perhaps of what I did not do a couple of weeks back. I should have been more prepared. I saw it coming, I didn't see it coming, I should have got the cues more. So we keep holding ourselves responsible for a whole lot of things as well, right? And third person, you did not do the dishes, or you did not pick up your laptop, you did not move your files, I also have to work, you also have to work, etc., etc. So this is the common thread which I'm hearing from most of my clients these days when I speak to them. Okay, so it's these three things. Now, we always try to tend to have an expectation that the others will change or something will change from outside, then I'll feel better. Let this COVID situation get better, life will then get probably better. Okay, let the government put in certain plans, then life will get better. Let my partner start to do the dishes, or let my partner at least wake up on time, then I will feel better. Let my kids not answer me back, then I will feel better. Okay, so we always hope that someone outside of us actually can shift something, and then I will feel better. And for as long as we expect this or hope this, we will always have this very moving target to feel better, because the reality and the truth is nobody shifts anything for you. You are the only one who has to shift your perception, your way of feeling, to be able to take it in your stride so that it does not affect you. You have to make yourself so strong from within. That's the whole idea. Okay, so a very conscious and a very mindful shift in our own thoughts and behavior will give us the power, will give us the creativity, will give us the authenticity of a life which is exactly what we desire even now, right, at any point of that. So when you are very angry with another, when you are upset with another person, when you are unhappy because of another person, the emotion that comes out is anger. Okay, it is anger, which can show up in many ways: frustration, it can show up in resentment, it can show up in many ways, but the root is anger. Whenever we are unhappy because of another person, it shows up in some way of anger. And anger can be passive, anger can be outrageous as well, right? Some people are very angry, but they kind of turn it in. And some people are angry at the drop of a hat and they are like shouting and screaming. But whenever it's another person that makes you upset, anger. Okay, now what happens when you are angry? The only way to kind of shift your anger or to flip your anger is to move to a space of acceptance. And take this down with you, write it or hear it, because the more you reflect on it, the more it will make sense to you, right? We are here just for a very short period of time, and everything I say may or may not completely resonate with you at this point of time. But when you look at situations, perhaps it will make more sense at that point of time. So the only way to overcome or to kind of flip this negative emotion of anger is to have a sense of acceptance. Now, acceptance does not mean that if I have an abusive partner or if I have something which is really bad, I need to accept it and get passive about it. No. The acceptance is at a space of that is something which will remain that way. However, I need to shift either my boundaries up, or I need to make myself so grounded, so strong, that this no longer triggers me. Okay, so the trigger has to go. You have a vibration within you which is kind of inviting that experience in your life, which is then generating anger. I will repeat that again. Okay, you have within you a certain void, a certain vibration. Okay, and vibration is science, right? So only when two vibrations, two frequencies are compatible will they come together. So I have something within me which is compatible to that anger. Okay, whatever it is, I have something within me. And only when I accept that it is within me, that it is coming into my universe, it is coming into my space, is when I can move away from it, or I can make myself very strong to not get affected by it. So whenever you have time, and these days I hope we have some time to reflect, to ponder, whether it's our relationship, whether it's our own mental health, whether it's our own emotional stability, think what all are your key anger triggers. And once you are aware of your key anger triggers, see what within you can accept, so that those behaviors from another stop taking your power away. Okay, so that's anger for from third person, from someone outside of you. What happens when something goes wrong because of me? Maybe I should have prepared better with my numbers, with my work, with my groceries. Even these days, I mean, that's a big one. So what happens within us? There is a lot of guilt that keeps coming up. Okay, and every time we feel guilty about something, our vibration drops. Then we go into this whole spiral of, I wish I was better, it was smarter, I wish I made a better choice, I wish it had gone differently, I wish I could go back. Again, it drains and saps your energy. And at this moment of time, we do not want to sap our energy at all. Okay, so every time you become aware of the feeling of guilt of any sort, when you're questioning yourself, belittling yourself, being hard on yourself, having, unmanageable targets on yourself, whatever, I leave that to you. You see that whenever you have these kind of thoughts of guilt, anything where you are blaming yourself, self blame, self guilt, you need to flip it to an emotion or an experience of learning. How do you do that? Again, back to step one: awareness, acceptance. Okay, I goofed up big time with my numbers. I did not do it right. I should have planned better. I should have got the cues better. There was business sense around me to have done things differently. I didn't do it. Now what? the Again, when you can say that to yourself, then you can move beyond the guilt. Because the thing is that a solution is not at the same vibration as the problem. So when you are in a space of guilt, when you are in a space of anger, you cannot go beyond it. So the minute you accept that guilt and say, yes, I goofed up big time, this is all because of me, but I am human. Now what? How do we move beyond this? That is where you come to a space of learning. Okay, what does learning mean? Learning basically means that whatever is make me guilty, how can I pick that up and find what it is that I need to shift and do for myself? Okay, so what are my learnings on it? So whether it was taking the cues better, whether it was, preparing better, planning better, guilty because of the way things are in my house, whatever is the reason that makes you guilty, you need to pick up something which can now be associated in place of that guilt. Okay, so whatever is the learning, you put that down. I saw a question coming in, so before I move to the next one, let me just have a look at that. We have a question from Gauri: how to overcome and not working in, how would you recommend to deal with that? Correct. Okay, so let me come to that. We are coming to more emotions right now, right? So anything which makes you feel guilty, you move to a space of learning. What could I have learned from that? What can I learn from that? What are my learnings on this mishap, this feeling of being really guilty, feeling of being not good enough? What is my learning from that? You list it down, and every single time that now your thought goes to the guilt, you replace it with this learning that you have picked up for yourself. And slowly and steadily, as you do that, you create new neural pathways. So new habits, new feelings, new way of thinking comes into play, right? So every time you feel guilty and you reaffirm that guilt gets stronger in your subconscious mind, which is like 88% stronger than your conscious mind. So every time you keep feeling that guilt, that pattern keeps repeating itself. Now that you know that the guilt is here to teach you something, you pick up that learning. It could be anything. Okay, and now every time you feel guilty, you acknowledge the guilt, you accept that guilt, and you replace it with whatever is the learning, and that helps you to move forward. When you are in a when you are stressed or when you are angry because of the current situation, the circumstance, very relevant for today. What is the feeling? It's a feeling of helplessness. I feel helpless for whatever it is. I want to go out, do my work, get around with my life in a certain way, but I am absolutely helpless on it. So what is the feeling that can help me go one notch above feeling better? I have to flip this feeling of helplessness into motivation. And that's exactly what each one of us who is here is working on. And I want you to just kind of reflect on it and see if you can take it into other areas of your life where you are feeling more stuck. We are doing whatever it takes to motivate ourselves to make the most of this situation and move forward. So whenever you feel in any area, in any slot of your life where you are feeling really, really helpless, you need to figure out a way to kind of motivate yourself. Okay. Now, that is from helplessness to motivation. The other feeling that we get is when we don't know what's happening ahead, when it's all unknown, fear. And I think that will answer some question as well which came up. And if it doesn't, please stay on this later, and I can definitely share that with you if you want anything particular. Whenever there is this feeling of I don't know what's going to happen ahead, I don't know what's going to happen next, there is a feeling of fear that kind of comes in, and this fear then reflects itself as anxiety, panic attacks, and a whole lot of things. So at this point of time, you have to replace this fear with a sense of faith. And this faith could be on absolutely anything, whether it is on your own self, your own gut feel, whether it is on the universe, the creator, the God, the government, the business, the whatever. You have to find some source which gives you that presence of faith, of stability, so that you can move beyond fear. Because fear is a very all-gripping kind of emotion. When you are in the presence of fear, you are unable to think beyond. So the only way that you can, right that moment, come out of fear is to take your awareness from fear to anything of faith. We even came into this world without knowing who our parents would be. But somewhere at a very deeper level, we had faith that we will move on in life. So think of those situations in your life where you have overcome and you've had faith, and keep reminding and taking yourself back into that space. Okay, so keep taking yourself back into that space. Now, how can we do this? So someone mentioned here affirmations. That's one of the great ways of working with it. Another method, breathing. Okay, so have these 4 emotions in mind, have the flip emotions in mind, and then let's look at some, we have some time. Yeah, we have about 20 minutes. So let's look at some activities and exercises that we can do on a daily basis to kind of help ourselves with it. Okay, one is, remember that whatever vibration you sleep with, you wake up with. Okay, so if you sleep really angry, really upset, really cranky, you feeling not good enough, your relationship is suffering, etc., etc., something's not good, you sleep in that vibration, you kind of wake up similar in that vibration. So it's a good idea at night to have a sleeping ritual and a morning ritual. It really, really helps. Okay, so you can have like a journal if you like, or you could have like a very, very simple, cleansing exercise for yourself. So something that works really well and doesn't take very, very long is just when you get into bed, try not to be on any kind of social media for at least 30 minutes before you go to bed, preferably 1 hour, but even 30 minutes is good. So try not to, just do something else, have some water, just be in some sort of silence, allow your thoughts to come into your mind, and then get into kind of bed. Once you are about to sleep, think of 5 things, 3 things, and those of you who have kids, it's a great exercise for kids as well. Yeah, think of 3 things, 5 things, 7 things, whatever it is that you are grateful for today, whatever it may be, that my health is good, that I had an opportunity to speak to my family. Think of 3, 4, 5 things. Why? Because when we move to a space of gratitude, it really, really helps us to raise our vibration. And there is the vibration of gratitude only then brings us more experiences in our life to be grateful for. Okay, so every night a gratitude exercise is absolutely beautiful. The second thing that you can do is you can write an affirmation for yourself. Okay, so you can write this affirmation 21 times for 21 days, and that really helps. Okay, so it could, the trick with the affirmation is it has to be in present tense, and it has to be as though like you have already received it. Okay, so like I am fit, I am abundant, or i am I am enjoying the well-being, or I'm enjoying my new home. If you are looking for a new home, I am reaping the benefits of this business giving me whatever. So it has to be in the present tense, and you have to feel the feeling. And I'll take you through an exercise right now where we do that. We'll do a visualization, and that's why I asked you to do that first exercise where you can kind of think of what are the areas that make you happy, right? So you can build it into this visualization exercise. So that is one. So yeah, so affirmation, I said you can write it. Another very interesting thing you can do is, and I do this again personally and share with a lot of my clients, it works for them as well, is you can write some very nice positive affirmations, emotions on a paper, and put your water bottle on it. Okay, because water has memory, and there have been many you know research and experiments that have been done to show the power of water, the memory of water. So you write something beautiful in your water, not in your water, you write something beautiful, and then either you can kind of paste it with a ziploc or something in the bottle, or what I tend to do is I keep it like a coaster, and I keep my bottle on it. What happens is that every time you pick up your bottle to drink that water, your mind automatically kind of associates with that affirmation, and that affirmation shifts your vibration from whatever it may be, negative, unhappy, wherever you are, it takes you to that place. And when you consume, now our body also, as you know, is majority water, more than 70% is water. So when this new water we drink with these new vibrations, it actually creates certain shifts within our own setup. So it really helps to kind of do this affirmation with water. And this could be in any area of your life, right? So even for your relationships, not feeling good enough, not feeling strong enough, feeling fear because of it, write an affirmation and do this alongside, do the visualization that I will just share right now, and that would also kind of help with it. So that's the second one, which you can do with water. In the current days, especially, our immunity is really important to us. We want to vibrate high with wellness. So one very nice energy flow posture I will share with you. And you can do this. You can do this with your kids. You can share it with your elders in the family. It's a beautiful energy trick to kind of get the energy flowing and to raise your immunity, so to speak. So you take your right hand, okay, and you can do this as many times in the day as you like. Okay, so you take your right hand and you place it on your opposite shoulder. And those of you, if you can put on the video, you can, it could help you as well. And you take your left hand, yeah, and you place it on the pelvic bone. Okay, so your right hand is over your shoulder and your left hand is on your pelvic bone. And just close your eyes for a moment and just allow the energy to flow here. Some of you may feel it, some of you may not feel anything, some may feel a pulsation. Whatever you feel is okay. Even if you don't feel, that's okay. But because energy doesn't always make itself known to you, it's always there, right? It's always flowing. But sometimes you feel it, some of us don't feel it, and that's okay. So just keep it there and just close your eyes for a moment and just feel or experience or just allow the energy to flow. And do this every day. It's a beautiful. So right hand over the left shoulder and left hand on the right pelvic bone. And then you swap. Okay. So this here and then this here. Okay, you can just hold it straight here. And that's it. It's really simple, really easy. Okay, so you do this, and this really helps to kind of keep the immunity going as well. Do this at night, do this in the morning when you wake up. When you wake up in the morning, that's the third thing that I was going to say. Start your day with some breathing if you can. And that really helps, because when we kind of gather us, when we wake up in the morning, very often we feel very scattered, right? And then we think we need our caffeine shot or we need our tea to kind of bring us together. But what happens is that most often, most of us put an alarm and suddenly we are shaken out of deep sleep and are now facing reality, right? And very often we could be running late, very often, we have deadlines, etc., etc. So as soon as you wake up, put an alarm maybe for 10 minutes earlier than what you really need to wake up, or maybe 20 minutes earlier, so because you may need 10 minutes to just kind of sleep again, right? So you put that alarm, you wake up, and then you do some breathing. So one very, very beautiful breath, which you can do through the day as well, when you feel tired, when you feel exhausted, when there's too much negativity, arguments around you, it's called the cleansing breath. You breathe in through the nose at your own pace. So it's like, and try to take that breath as deep as you can into the belly, and then you breathe out slowly through your mouth. So you hear the sound, this very soft hissing kind of sound that comes up. So you breathe in through the nose and you breathe out through the mouth. Do this at least 3 times, and 7 times is even better. Yeah. So do this cleansing breath in the morning. It really, really helps. The other breath, which again really helps at this point of time, and of course, whenever, to kind of bring our energy together and to kind of boost our, again, our metabolism, our immunity, our strength, the way we think, is the alternate nose breathing. Okay, so we're not recommended to really touch our noses right now, but if you're doing it for yourself, wash your hands with soap nicely, dry them, and then you just kind of, block your right nostril, breathe in through the left, and then you block that and breathe out through the, then you breathe in from this side and block and breathe out from the other. So alternate nose breathing that you do. And when you breathe in through your right nostril, you really, really kind of charge the metabolism in your space. Okay, so that's another breath that you can do. You can share with your family, your children, whoever. It really helps to kind of bring the energy together. So morning is really important. And we've been doing this very beautiful, and I was sharing this just recently in the other talk as well, that we've been doing this very beautiful gratitude jar. Okay, so what you do in the gratitude jar is everything these days that you think about, oh, I wish I could do this, or oh, or I was going for this meeting, or I wanted to travel, or I wanted to just go to Starbucks and get my coffee. Everything that you're really, really missing, just make a little note of it and put it inside your gratitude jar. What this does is that instead of feeling sorry or bad for yourself, the same experiences are now taking you to a vibration of gratitude. And this will then in turn kind of help you to raise your vibration. And then once the lockdown and all is over, pick up one, and actually you will appreciate those things so much more that we actually take for granted. So that's another beautiful, exercise that we've been doing recently. Okay, then let's now move into, since we have little time left, let's move into the 1 minute. I just got a message. Let's see. That's absolutely, Shilpi. Exercise, yoga, whatever kind of walking you can do, it that goes without saying, 100%. And my idea was to share with you some little different techniques, which may or may not most people would be doing. But yeah, physical activity is a must. So doing yoga or running or jogging, whatever you can do, you must do that every single day. Thanks for bringing that up. Okay, so we will, these are just a few. If you have any questions, feel free to post them, and I will definitely give you whatever I know on that subject now or after. Let's get into the visualization and the meditation. This is something that you can actually do every day. You can do it at night. You can do it in the morning. You can do it during the day if you feel really, really kind of, scattered or energetically exhausted, or any of those 4 negative emotions that we tapped upon some time back. So yeah, let's start with that. So all you would need right now is a comfortable place where you're sitting, or you can even lie down if you like, not a problem, since you're all at home. So just kind of make yourself comfortable. and I'll lead you through it. It will take us about 10 minutes since we have that kind of time. Yeah. So we will just do this exercise. So I did get essential oil and my singing bowl for you, so you can enjoy it virtually. All right. So just close your eyes and take a nice deep breath. Okay. Breathe in and out at your, regular pace after the deep breath. So just close your eyes. Nice deep breath. And then just take your awareness to your breathing. If you're sitting on a chair, make sure you're sitting upright, your back is straight, your feet are planted firmly on the floor. And then just focus on your breath in and out, in and out. And don't change your breath. Don't try to, make it deep or anything. Don't try to lengthen it. I want you to just observe your breath. Just notice how it feels as you inhale and notice how it feels as you exhale. That's it. Just getting in touch with your breath. Because our breath is the way to move inwards. We are always in the external space. Our mind is always thinking outside. It's always thinking of things to do. So just stay with your breath. And what happens is that every time you try to stay with your breath, you will notice that your mind begins to wander, and that's natural, especially if you don't meditate often. So every time you become aware that your mind has kind of wandered, your awareness has moved away from your breath, very gently with compassion, bring it back to the breath. So think of it just as a little child who is constantly jumping around, but you keep bringing them into a space of stillness. Okay? That's why the mind is known as the monkey mind as well. It's constantly moving, jumping. And so you're in the driving seat now and you are choosing to be with your breath. So you can even repeat this in your mind, like every time the mind goes to, I have to do this, or I can't do this, meditation is not for me, etc., etc. Whatever may come to your mind, you say, I choose to be with my breath. I hear you, I feel you. At this moment, I choose to be with my breath. See if that works for you. For some of us, just simply repeating the word breath works for us. So you could do that. For some of us, repeating a mantra works. So you could use a mantra. Okay, you could just simply say I or me. Or you could say, a mantra like Om. Okay, so it's up to you. What will bring your mind into the space? So let's take another moment of complete silence and just stay with your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Okay. Now just become aware of your body on the chair, on the mat, on the bed, wherever you may be. And just notice if there is any tension, any stiffness in any part of the body. And just become aware and accept that stiffness. And just allow the breath, the energy to flow into that space to unblock it, to relax it, to ease it, to cleanse it. So once you are aware and you accept, the resistance is low. And when the resistance is low, the energy flows. The body knows exactly how to heal itself. So just take it into that space, into your body, and let it go. And then slowly take your awareness to your heart center, in the center of your chest, your heart center. This is a beautiful, beautiful energy center. So just get in touch with this energy. You can visualize it, you can feel it. You can even bring to your mind the color green, because that's the color that kind of resonates with this energy center. And just feel this energy center kind of opening up to you, expanding as your breath is flowing, your body is relaxing. This energy center is really powerful for manifestation. So take a moment as you get in touch with this energy center. Just feel love for yourself, feel love for the ones around you. If you are angry about something, see if you are in a space to forgive. If you are not, are you in a space to accept? Just so that this energy can start flowing a little bit more. Now, with the power of this energy starting to flow, because as soon as you take your attention to a certain space, the energy starts to flow in that space. I want you to bring into your own mind now thoughts, visions of what it is that you want to manifest in your life right now. So create a visual of what you want, be it a healthy relationship, be it a stable financial space, be it a new job, be it whatever it is in your mind that you are really, really looking for, that promotion. Just bring it into your space, okay? And as you start to connect with it, let's engage all the senses, because when the senses get engaged, the feel, the touch, it becomes that much more magnified and the vibrations are that much stronger, right? So just think about how it looks like. What is it that you see? Notice yourself in that experience. So don't think it's something you want, but notice yourself in it. So if it's this new home you're looking for, notice yourself inside that home. See what the structure looks like. See what the walls look like. See what the doors look like. See how you have decorated the space. Just get into that manifestation completely. See it through your closed eyes, through your inner mind. If you were to touch this desire, if you were to touch this experience, what would it feel like to you? Give it a sensation. Nothing works more powerfully than an association. So if it is a car you're manifesting, if it is a baby you're manifesting, what would it feel like? What is it that you can feel right now that can give you that feeling of that car, that abundance, that villa, that baby, that beautiful relationship? What would it feel like? What would a healthy relationship, a loving relationship feel like to you? Would it be soft, like a very, very furry animal, pet, loved one? What is the feeling? What is that physical sensation, that feeling that you can assign to it? Just take a moment to bring that into your mind as you hold the vision of your manifestation. If this manifestation, if this desire, if this experience that you're looking in your life was something that you could taste, what would it taste like? Smooth, sweet, spicy. What is it that brings that energy into you? What would it taste like? Assign, associate your sense of taste to it. Is it something that you really desire, that you had as a child and you love the taste of it? Just bring that element into your space. If this beautiful, beautiful manifestation you're looking for, you could, if it could smell like something, what would the smell be like? Your favorite flower, your favorite perfume, the smell of your favorite dish, perhaps baking in the kitchen. What would that smell be? Hold the vision. You are raising your vibration for things you are grateful for, the things that you love, things that you enjoy, things that make you feel so comfortable, things that make you feel complete. And as you hold that vision and you bring these feelings in, your vision gains momentum. If this beautiful vision, you could give it a sound, what would it sound like? Perhaps your favorite song, sound of a bell. What would that sound be like? The voice of someone you love, the voice of yourself as a child, perhaps. Just give it a moment. Allow your energy to flow. So you're holding the vision, you're experiencing that, you're seeing it, you're touching it, you're tasting it, you're smelling it, you're listening to it. Your entire being now is immersed in that desire, that manifestation. Just see it coming to life like you are watching it on a TV. Everything that you have wanted. And in this very, very beautiful space, try and use an affirmation that works with this beautiful space. I am the creator of my reality. I am the creator of my reality. I am at peace with myself and my relationships around me. I operate out of my highest potential. Whatever resonates with you, I love and accept myself. I am abundant and blessed. So whatever affirmations that you feel are meaningful to you, in this beautiful space, as you envision this desire, as you touch and feel and smell and hear it, take a few moments to say your affirmations. And so you're really putting together this very, very potent package. And if you can hold your awareness, your energy in this beautiful momentum, this potency that is there, nothing can stop you from manifesting it in your life. So just slowly take another deep breath. And then slowly just let it all go one by one. And then gently bring your awareness back into the present moment. And just kind of move your fingers and your toes. And slowly open your eyes into the now. That's okay. Thank you, Shilpi. Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, so yeah, that was again one of the exercises, the visualizations that you can practice. Practice gratitude, practice this, practice breathing, and you can see how that kind of goes for you. Any questions, anything, feel free to put it down here, or of course at Illuminations, and I'll be happy to help you with that. And yeah, I would love to hear back from you if you enjoyed it. If you would like something like this, we can do different kind of topics like this. So that's pretty much what we have time for today, and I hope you really enjoyed this, and I hope you take back something from this that could help you. Just feel free to message if you have any questions, and we can take it from there. I'll just wait for a bit for anyone who contacts. Otherwise, you all, thank you again for joining, and stay safe, stay healthy, and I hope to see you in person sometime soon. Thank you very much. Huda, thank you very much for your message. I'll just go on to the chat page. Thank you very much, Sneha. That's really nice that you enjoyed it. Thank you very, very much, all of you, for for being here and for thank you so much, City, to you as well. Love and light. Thank you. Okay, so if there's anything, I hope we receive some questions or emails, and I look forward to seeing you all again.